Head, neck, backbone straight. This is a position where the energy flow is maximum. Ideal for spiritual learning, ideal for meditation, especially for those seekers who want to meditate more, because there is a time we must decide how much we can hear, listen, do manan. Shravan manan must lead to nididhyasanam, that is meditation. And in meditation, sitting straight without much movement is the first important step. When the body is still, the mind after some time has to quieten down. Let us withdraw our entire attention from the world of situations, objects, people, past, future, and focus on the body. This withdrawal of the mind whenever we want is a very important step called as pratyahar. After the event is over, or any time I wish, I must be able to withdraw my mind from the world of happenings, because this world of happenings is endless chatter, endless drama going on, and the drama goes on in the mind. The best way to do that is to focus on the body. So let us pay attention on our body. Entire attention on our crown chakra, that is the head. Let us give instructions to the body that next 45 minutes it will remain still. It will not call for any attention, and it will be relaxed. Body relaxed and alert mind is our sadhana to practice whenever we want at any place. So let us relax our head, shoulders, back, chest, hands, stomach, groin. Let us relax our thighs, knees, calf muscles, ankles, feet. Our body is entirely relaxed and healed. And when the body is healed and relaxed, it doesn't call for any attention. Let us withdraw our mind from the attention from the body to breath. All the instructions coming on my ear, I will follow, is one instruction I can give to myself. Right now, I'm not using my mind and intellect. I'm just following the instructions, what I'm hearing. Entire attention on the breath. How the inhalation and exhalation is happening, which is natural. I don't have to do anything. I have to just be an observer. No regulation of breath, no force, only observation of breath. Observation of the movement of the stomach. When I do inhalation, it comes out. When I exhale, it goes out. It comes in. I withdraw my attention from the breath. Now my mind is peaceful in the present, alert. And I focus on my own mind and observe my own emotions. what all emotions I'm experiencing this moment, what emotions I have experienced during the day, all the emotional ups and downs. I'm only an observer. Sometimes happiness, sometimes sadness, sometimes frustration, sometimes irritation, sometimes peace. Peace also is an emotion of the mind. I withdraw my attention from the mind, emotions to the thoughts. 60,000 thoughts pass through my mind. I pay attention which thought, whose thought, how many thoughts, quantity of thoughts, frequency of thoughts, quality of thoughts, and be an observer of the thoughts. Observation of the thoughts is a very deeper level of meditation I can do anytime. While transacting with people also, one part of the mind can observe the thought flow in our own mind. I withdraw my attention from the thoughts without judging, without getting attached, without entertaining, without giving reality to thoughts. Knowing thoughts is freedom. Knowing thoughts as reality is bondage. So I don't give any reality to thoughts because thoughts are inert. Thoughts are repetitive. Thoughts derive their energy from consciousness. And I withdraw my attention from the thoughts and ask the question to whom the thoughts are happening, to whom the emotions are happening, to whom this world is perceived. The answer comes as I am. I am thinking the thoughts, I am feeling the emotions, I am perceiving the senses and the world. So I am the perceiver, feeler, thinker. So who am I?
Shankar, my this thing is your audio is on, so I'm going to say the prayer, so please don't make me.
I know that I am. So the knowledge is prior to I amness. So that knowledge is the real self. Whatever we have been studying as Atma, Brahman, all these Lakshanas is that knowledge of I am, which doesn't require any support. So let us invoke God's grace and Guru Parampara's blessing to keep us on this path of inquiry. Inquiry is very important, thinking is very important, knowledge is very important, because this is the greatest purifier. And grace is required of God and Guru Parampara to keep us on this path of inquiry. So let us chant loudly together. Om. 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 Yeah, ma'am.
Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunattu Sah Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Akandamandalakaram व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सावरं जङ्गमं व्याप्तं यत्किञ्चित् सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। चिन्मयं व्यापि यत् सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। हरि ओम्।
Hari Om, very nice, Amma. Hari Om to all. So we are doing Praman Vichar, which is a very interesting topic. Till now, we have covered following things. Number one, there are two kinds of knowledges. One is a secular knowledge, one is a spiritual knowledge. Secular knowledge is required to, which is given in schools and colleges. It is required to earn money. It is required to have a comfortable life. It is required to get married. It is required to travel. It is required to for our day-to-day power achievement, whatever we want. That is one kind of knowledge, very important one. And the second, but this knowledge doesn't remove three things, very important aspect. This knowledge, whatever is taught in schools, colleges, where we earn money, we have family, and we travel, go to restaurants, and all to our day-to-day comfort, security, this knowledge will not remove shoka moha bhaya. This is what we must tell people, that why we are coming to spiritual knowledge. Because spiritual knowledge is the only knowledge which removes shoka moha bhaya. Sa vidya ya vimuktaye. Vidya is knowledge, is that which liberates us from these three things. So I am coming to spiritual knowledge. So we have a parameter to check also, that whether my moha is reduced, because in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan asked only one question to Arjuna: whether your moha has gone. No other question. Whether your moha has gone, delusion has gone. What is the delusion? That I am not the body, mind, intellect, and my real nature is Satchit Ananda Swarup. All the scriptures, what we study, learn for years together and want to learn more and more, one line knowledge is, I am not body, mind, intellect, and I am Satchit Ananda Swarup. existence, consciousness, infinite bliss. This is the entire knowledge. So we saw that how knowledge is powerful in both the ways. It can remove, it can give us comfort, leisure, whatever we want in our day-to-day life, and it can liberate us from these two things permanently. So if I want worldly happiness, I have to have secular knowledge. If I want permanent happiness, then I have to have spiritual knowledge. So now when we are talking about knowledge, then we saw second aspect, which is our main topic, how knowledge happens. So we saw types of knowledges, how knowledge happens, because knowledge drives our happiness, knowledge drives our success. So how knowledge happens? For knowledge to happen, three things are required. The knower, pramata, the known, that is the prameya, and the means of knowing, that is a pramana. Bhagavan in Bhagavad Gita says that I am the pramata. That is where the whole question is going to come. From next Sunday, we are going to start the 13th chapter. That's the reason we are taking pramana vichar, that how can there be two knowers? So Bhagavan, when he says that I am the knower, how can anybody would think that Bhagavan, if you are the knower, who am I? And if you are saying that you are the knower, then why am I ignorant? So one has to do a lot of manan on 13th chapter. So we are taking pramana vichar, that why how come Bhagavan is saying is that I am the knower, I am the pramata. If I am the pramata, either Bhagavan becomes jiva or I become Bhagavan. But both are not happening. So that we will see in the 13th chapter. But technically we must know that the whole question is that who is this pramata? Whole question is that who is the knower? And our whole attention in life is about known. I want to know this, 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 I want to experience this. I want to go here, I want to go here, I want to have more experiences, without knowing who is the experiencer and who is the knower. That is where the whole challenge is happening. So then we saw that what can we call as the valid knowledge. Next topic. So then we came to conclusion that for any valid knowledge to happen, four conditions or parameters has to be met. Otherwise, we cannot call that as a valid knowledge. This is where the inquiry begins. When you say that knowledge can liberate us, which knowledge can liberate us? Valid knowledge can liberate us, not invalid knowledge. So we have to see the connection from this pramana vichar, how we are moving. So when the valid knowledge is going to liberate us, then the question comes, what is a valid knowledge? So we saw four parameters has to be met. Abhaditam, anadikatam, asannigdham, and smriti vilakshanam. That knowledge which doesn't change with time. That knowledge which doesn't change with means. That knowledge which is doubtless. And that knowledge which is not dependent on my memory. And my memory changes. If we see after 70-year-old, 75-year-old, now also people say, what is that number? And then I forgot today is Monday. Class is there. Age. So suppose this knowledge is dependent on my memory, then this knowledge will change. So today I will say I am body, tomorrow I will say I am animal, I will say I am Brahman, I will say I am Atma, I will say I will Jiva, I will say I am going to take next birth. Who am I? Whether I am body, whether I am Jiva, or whether I am Atma. Depending upon my memory, knowledge will change. So that is not the valid knowledge. So four parameters are to be met for valid knowledge. Now in spiritual inquiry, very interestingly, we saw when knowledge to happen, three things are required. Pramata, pramana, prameya, and then prama happens. Prama is the knowledge. But in spiritual inquiry, the Pramata also is me, and the Prameya also is me, because a spiritual seeker is one who is in search of oneself. Okay, you might say, no, 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 I'm not interested in oneself. I'm interested to know God. I'm searching God. But Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita, Aham Atma Gudakesha. Oh Arjun, Gudakesha, I am your Atma only. So search there. Aham Atma Gudakesha, Bhagavan says. I am your Atma only. So I am in search of my own Atma. I am in search of who am I. So when we see these four parameters, then we come to conclusion that no knowledge in this world of people, object, situation can be considered as valid knowledge because it is changing. The only valid knowledge what we can say without blinking an eyelid, and that anybody can say, for that Shastra is not required. Now we have to pay attention. The only knowledge what we can say without doubt, without dependent on memory, is I am there. I cannot say I am not there. No, in deep sleep also I am not there, but after waking up I say I was there. My sleep was good. My sleep was not very good, so I was there. So one knowledge, now we have to pay attention because now we are coming to pramana. How it is pramana becomes important. Now the only knowledge what we can hold on to as valid knowledge is I am. But now the whole challenge comes why Shastra is required to tell us that who am I? That I do not know. So now next 2 minutes, whatever I am going to say is very important. So I have to pay complete attention here. And things will, because this is me only. So last time we saw first pramana. So now what we have to know? Who am I? I know I am there. Knowledge is there. But second question is, who am I? So now all people on this planet know that they are there. I am there, but I do not know who am I. For that we require Shastra. Otherwise, many people say, why do you require Guru? Why do you require Shastra? For this. I know I am there, but who am I? I do not know. Now, who am I do not know. That we have to now use the pramana. So last time we saw, this is a very important pramana. So first pramana we saw is Pratyaksha pramana. Pratyaksha pramana is here and now what is in front of me. So in Pratyaksha pramana, we saw two things. Savikalpa Pratyaksha and Nirvikalpa Pratyaksha. Savikalpa Pratyaksha is the contact between the objects and my senses. Step number 1 for knowledge to happen, Pratyaksha Pramana. So when the perception is happening, the second from Pratyaksha Pramana is Savikalpa Pramana. First is Nirvikalpa. Nirvikalpa means no thought. The second is Savikalpa Pramana. It happens without our knowledge. It happens in microseconds. So we are not able to distinguish this. Whenever any stimuli comes from the fine senses, there is images formed in the brain. The sound comes, the smell comes, the touch comes. And then Savikalpa Pramana means senses to mind. A thought has to be formed. Thought formation is called as knowledge because Nirvikalpa Pratyaksha we can have in deep sleep also. When we go to sleep, somebody may touch us. So Nirvikalpa happens, touch happens, but thought formation is not happening. So I say, I don't know. I don't know. And this also we are saying, I don't know Atma. So now we have to catch here. I am saying I don't know Atma. Who am I? I am only. Because the thought formation is not happening. Okay, now I know Atma. Now we have to pay attention. The first step is perception. The second step is cognition. Cognition has happened because I have studied Tattva Bodh. What is Atma? What is Atma definition? How many people remember? Please raise their hand. No most. We have by hearted this. We have to by heart. Those who are, if I am seeking Atma, if I forget Atma definition, what is going to happen? Sthula Sukshma Sharira Vyatiriktam Avasthatraya Sakshi Panchakoshatita Satchitananda Swarupa Iti Tishtati Sa Atma. Sa Atma means this is Atma. All those who have logged in today, 31, I must buy heart, because suppose somebody tells me go and buy milk from the shop, simple thing, go and buy milk, or no, milk come to our place. Okay, let us take another example. Go and bring tomato from the market. If spouse tells, husband or wife goes, first of all, I must know tomato. Second, I must know where it is available. No, this is very basic. You're talking advanced level Praman Vichar is there. Same thing is happening. I do not know what is Atma because I do not know what are the Lakshanas of Atma. And where it is available also I do not know. Then how will I go? I cannot move only. This example looks little gross, but this is what is happening. That because I don't know definition of Atma, Lakshana of Atma, I am not able to search it. And because I do not know where it is located, I am searching in a different place. So now, the third step is not happening. When the third step happens, it is called as enlightenment, moksha, nirvana, self-realization, whatever word I can give, the third step is called as recognition. So first is perception, second is cognition, third is recognition. When recognition of my own beingness happens, that is called as self-realization. It is not an experience. Because this myth, I must remove from my mind that self-realization, some aura will come, some light will come, some boom, something will happen and some sound will come and then some light will come and then something. These are all experience level. I have to recognize my own self as Satchitananda Swarup. So recognition of my own self from the memory, that is called a realization. So now Pratyaksha Pramana, we got such a beautiful understanding that this is what is self-realization. Recognition, perception is happening, thought formation is that, but recognition is, this is it. Because I have to move from that known I am to the knower of I am. Consciousness. So this is what we saw last time, but this is the crux matter. So I took the important points. The next two, what are mentioned are Yogaj and Aparoksha Nabhuti. So in Pratyaksha Praman, there are two more. But what we spoke today is the main one. So I have to constantly contemplate on what we spoke. This is, it happens, Om Brahmavid Apnoti Param, Taittiriya Upanishad. The knower of Brahman attains supremes. I have to just know myself. That's all. No action required. I have to just close my eyes, ignore all thoughts, keeping only one thought that I am Atma, and then sit there and it will be revealed. Spuratirut Swayam Parama Purna Sat, Pramana Maharshi says. So, what are the challenges now in this Pratyaksha Pramana that we will see? What are the obstacles in this Pratyaksha Pramana? Number one, if object is too far, Ati Dura, then there is a problem in Pratyaksha. So many people think that God is very far, so I am not able to see. God is in heaven, so I am not able to see. And Ati Sannikrishtat, that means that something is very close to us. Our problem is this. So suppose right now I can do one experiment. Just take one hand, I can see, bring it closer, closer, closer. I can keep it so close, I am not able to see my hand. I am not able to see anything. Even one finger, just one finger I bring, I am not able to see the finger. This is our problem in life, that Atma is so close that I am not able to see it. So I must do this experiment today, that keep hand like this, I will be At one point, I will not be able to see hand also. I will not be able to see world also. And that's the reason that thing what blocks is our ignorance, because it is so close to me. The second problem in Pratyaksha Pramana, if there is hindrance, avarana to perception of knowledge. So right now the avarana is ignorance. What is ignorance? Definition of ignorance, two things. Non-apprehension of reality, number one problem. And second problem, misapprehension of reality. First of all, I don't recognize that I am Atma. Problem number one, mistake number one. Because I don't recognize I am Atma, this mistake number two is that I assume myself as body, mind, intellect. Two problems. Definition of ignorance is mathematical equation. Third problem in Pratyaksha Pramana, the senses are weak or not functioning properly. So when I get old, I cannot eat properly, I cannot see properly, I cannot hear properly. So Pratyaksha Pramana cannot be the means for seeing God. Pratyaksha Pramana cannot be the means for seeing Atma. So those people say, I want to see God, I want to see God. Let us not take Vivekananda's example. Let us not take here that example what Ramakrishna Paramahansa said, that because Ramakrishna Paramahansa was so pure that he used to see Kali Mata in front of him. Pratyaksha Sansari. That is Aparoksha Anubhuti. And then when Totapuri came, the same Kali Mata became himself. So he used to put flower on himself. Sometimes he used to go to do puja, and then while doing puja, he used to put flowers and gandha on himself, thinking that I am God. Because distinction is lost in that self-realization. Ramdas Swami says that Anantacha anta pahavaya gelo, tede visaralo apanasi. Means I went in search of infinity. That is also one possibility. Let me go in search of infinity. When I went in search of infinity, I lost my own self, and that was realization. I saw here, I was not able to see myself. I saw here, I was not able to see myself. So forgetting oneself in waking state is self-realization. Forgetting oneself means disidentifying from body, mind, intellect. If mind is unstable and not concentrated to gain knowledge, right now, suppose my attention is not there, I am missed. Savikalpa, Nirvikalpa, I am missed. So if the mind is unstable, mind is unpure, mind is not interested in seeking Atma, because mind still feels there is happiness in outside world, it will go constantly outside. And what will help us to go outside? Senses. God is so intelligent that he has made senses extrovert. So constantly the mind travels outside through the senses. Fourth one, if there are too many similar objects, then also the sense Pratyaksha Pramana does not working. Because I am not able to figure out what is tomato, what is not tomato. We took that example, we are going to take, where suppose I don't know kiwi, I will bring some other fruit. Similarity. And the fourth one, next one is there is overshadowing. Abhibhavat. If the object is too minute or too subtler for senses, I cannot hear. Like we cannot hear ultraviolet rays, ultraviolet sound. We cannot see certain range beyond light because it is too sukshma. Human, right now also there is something very interesting happening. After this class, I will send it. Because all these things, we must relate to our Atma Jnana. There's one photograph what is rotating in the WhatsApp right now in London. In one shop, they have taken one photograph of a woman's dress. It is actually blue and black, but the photograph, it looks white and gold. So you have to ask yourself that what color you saw. In our own case, I saw white and gold, Manisha saw black and blue. Same on the WhatsApp. And when they took research, they saw 30-40% are saying black and blue. Some 60-70% are saying white and gold, because you just can't believe. So how can we believe our senses? The point what we are making here is that senses are not required to know Atma. I can just shut all my senses and know Atma by my own self, because it's me only. So our reliance on senses must be reduced. जो दिखता है वो सत्य है ऐसा नहीं है. Now we'll take Yogaj and Aparokshanubhuti quickly because I'm covering all these things because now we are taking Pramana Vichar topic. But after this topic is complete, I must again go back on Savikalpa Nirvikalpa. Savikalpa Nirvikalpa. How thought, how perception, cognition, recognition is happening. These three words I must keep. And then fourth thing what happens is a reaction. So if I can hold on my reaction, just focus on perception, cognition, recognition, perception, cognition, recognition without reaction. I will reach a state what Bhagwan wants us to reach in Bhagavad Gita called as Samatvam Yoga Yuchyate. Samatvam is this Samatvam. After we understand Pramana Vichar, we know what he's talking about. Samatvam, that I am not reacting to this perception, cognition, recognition. Yogaj perception. What is Yogaj perception? There are yogis and they can see in distance. So that is Pratyaksha Pramana. That cannot be Anuman Pramana. That cannot be any other Pramana. So there are people who have got some siddhis. They can tell you the future. They can tell you the past. It is Pratyaksha Pramana. So that is called as Yogaj Pramana. And for that, senses are not required, but it is Pratyaksha only for them. The example here is very important. So we are taking this Yogaj Pramana is all our rishis who have written this Upanishads and who heard this sound, who got this knowledge from the universe. Like if you see Qurana, if you see Bible, if you see Upanishads, what these people have said, they have got some Ishwari mystical sound they heard or they saw some picture. And there is no proof for it, but it is called as Ishwari. And that is called as Paravani. So this comes in Yogaj, which comes in Pratyaksha. It doesn't come in Anuman. It doesn't come in Spruti. It doesn't come in any other Pramana. It is Pratyaksha Pramana for a Rishi. And we know that there is a Paravani. Like Vishwamitra Rishi saw this mantra of Gayatri mantra. Then Atharva Shirsha. In that Atharvana Rishi saw this Ganpati in red form, red color. Actually, Ganpati's color is red color. So that is seen, actually seen. So that is Yogaj. That you and I cannot see because we have not done that kind of purity, Chitta Shuddhi, Tapa. Because all these rishis, because they heard all this knowledge, they have not given their names. It doesn't belong to me. So all our Upanishadic knowledge, it is called as Apaurushaya. Apaurushaya means it is not my creation. So, and same thing happens with scientists. The person who has designed this benzene ring, he told this benzene ring came in his dream. Nobody has seen this benzene ring in microscope. And this entire chemistry is based on this benzene ring, hexagon. But nobody has seen. So most of the scientific inventions also are Yogaj Pramana. When the person keeps thinking for years together, then this knowledge will come. The apple is falling, there has to be a gravitational force. But for seeing that apple and concluding that this person was thinking for 25 years, 20 years on what is that force which attracts some objects on the earth. So that is Yogaj Pratyaksha Pramana. Then Aparoksha Jnana. Aparoksha Jnana means what? Aparoksha Jnana means direct non-separative knowledge. So there is Paroksha and there is Aparoksha. Right now God is Paroksha. Right now Atma is Paroksha. When we read Upanishads, when we read all these kind of Lakshanas of Atma, Guruji always says all these Lakshanas are about you. So I have to tell, they are talking about me. When Mandukya Upanishad 7th verse, we must by heart. Na anta pradyam, na bahish pradyam, na pradhyanaganam, na pradyam, na pradyam, na adrusyam, na chintyam, achintyam, adrusyam, avyavaharyam, agrahyam. That is about Atma they are talking. Vyavaharyam, Shantam, Shivam, Chaturthyam, Manyante, Savidneya, Sa Atma. That is Atma. And no, all these things, what they are talking, they're talking about me. That I am not this, I am not this, I am not this, I am not this. In the same Atma Shatkam, Mano Buddhi Ahankara Chittami Chittani Nam. I am not Mana, I am not Buddhi, I am not Ahankara. They're talking about me. So this is Aparoksha Jnana, non-separative. This knowledge happens without aid of senses, mind, intellect. So mind, senses, intellect, not required for having that Aparokshanubhuti. So it is Pratyaksha Pramana. It cannot be Anumana Pramana. Pramata, Pramana, Prameya becomes one. Ata Sandili Triputi. Now we understand that when Janabai means that Pahata Pahane Gele Duri, Janabai, who is illiterate, she says that Pahata Pahane Gele me Pramata, Prameya, Pramana became one. After reading all these things, actually we start understanding what these saints are writing in this poem and Abhanga. So many times we hear this Abhanga, but now after understanding, so when we learn all these technical things, we actually can enjoy Bhagavad more, enjoy Purana more, enjoy all these Abhangas more. Because otherwise we will not understand what they are talking, what is their Anubhuti. So what is Pratyaksha Pramana? Direct, Sthula Drushti. Paroksha is indirect. Then Sukshma Drushti is required, but Aparoksha is not indirect. So there are three kinds of jnana. Paroksha, something which is far off. When something which is far off, you say, that mountain, that Switzerland, that Atma in English. Suppose we say this chair, this is close to me, this table, close to me, this laptop, close to me. And Aparoksha is not indirect. I am that. Very interesting. I have to ponder. I have to do a lot of manan on what we are discussing here. Analogy. Now, why we are taking this Aparokshanubhuti is when, let us understand through examples, reflecting sun in the water sees the real sun, assume, and they say, oh, I am that. That is Aparokshanubhuti. Then Jnaneshwar Maharaj says, seeing Atma, like I see Atma like a Ashwattha flower. That is Aparokshanubhuti. Shankaracharya says that I saw Atma like Avla on my palm. That is Aparokshanubhuti. When Paramahansa, Ramakrishna Paramahansa says, I see Kali Mata in front of me, Aparokshanubhuti, not Pratyaksha, not Aparoksha. Because for Pratyaksha, I require senses. So this is Aparoksha is not indirect. So there are two negatives there. Because that can be only explained. Brahman, Atma, myself can only be explained with indirect knowledge, negative definition. Brahman definition is, suppose we actually look Atma definition, it can only be defined with negative. And that's the reason again and again, Adi Shankaracharya says, I am not body, I am not mind, I am not Ahankara, I am not this, I am not this, then finally I am this. 3 sentences, I am not this, and finally I am this. So now, I think we have to take Anumana Praman, which is now logic comes. Now, Pratyaksha Pramana, 3 things: perception, cognition, and recognition. When I recognize, I interpret, and that is where whole problem starts. So if my Anumana is not correct, the whole problem of happiness and success is dependent on how I interpret, how I recognize, how I infer on what is the stimuli received. So that recognition is related to inference. What inference I draw? That's the reason some people are basically happy and cheerful, because whatever happens outside, I infer it in such a way that it creates happiness. Very important before we close. And some people are sad, angry, disappointed, always frustrated and irritated, because whatever stimuli comes in my mind, I will infer it negatively. So my happiness depends upon my inference. My success depends upon and my inference, because what am I inferring? How am I inferring? Now here comes the topic most interestingly, which according to me it is only available here. How to think, we do not know. We know what to think, we do not know how to think. How to think, how am I thinking? How am I interpreting? And we are so fast in interpreting. This is like this person is like that situation is like this, the God is like this, religion is like this, I am like this, I am not like this is like this. Why like this? First of all, that why itself is a problem, because why is illogical, because your interpretation is illogical. Why God created this world? Why God created all this suffering? Before that why is coming, I've already interpreted and concluded that God has created this world. Yes or no? So now we are going to come to very important one. Anumana Praman and this Pratyaksha Praman I have to ponder. All others are subsets of these two. These two I have to master. Pratyaksha Praman and Anumana Praman. This is where the whole Praman Vichar happens. Suppose I get mastery over these two, then other Praman becomes much easy to understand, because all other Pramans are somewhat we can call as inference only. Though we are going to give different names, but it is an inference. So we'll complete, and then if any questions are there, any doubts. So our journey is listen. I have to write down what I have understood. I have to write down what I have not understood. And I have to clarify and I have to discuss, because then only I will lead to meditation. Again and again, Swamiji says that people do Shravan and then Manan is not done. And that's the reason Nididhyasam doesn't happen. Again, I am doing different Shravan only. This YouTube, that the same thing, but I am not doing Manan properly. Because Manan we have to do correctly. When Manan happens, the day I am convinced by my intelligence and all these things that my happiness is located in Atma, the journey becomes much faster. Unless we have decided that no, I want 10, 15 more lives, and then realization happens, it's okay, because so many other desires are unfulfilled. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.